Dacia started out as a budget brand under Renault, and the Duster has been a real guarantee of success for the brand since 2010 thanks to its particularly good price-to-performance ratio. In 2022, the Duster was Europe's best-selling SUV in the private market. Now, the third generation Dacia Duster will be released in 2024, and it's said to be more economical, more off-road capable, and still cost less than 20,000 euros. Even the fully equipped version at 30,000 euros will be more attractive to buyers since the average price for a new car in Europe or North America is now around 50,000 euros or dollars. So how does Dacia manage this, and more importantly, what do you get for the price? First of all, there is a new platform. The new Duster is built on the CMF-B modular platform from the Renault-Nissan Alliance. It's not only more advanced than the previous platform, but also enables the introduction of hybrid and mild hybrid powertrains. Your Auto Genie will tell you more about that in a bit, but before we dive into the details, if you like the content, remember to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. So, what do you think sets the third-gen Duster apart from its predecessors? The design, of course. It does fit into the family of current models, have similarities to the Sandero and Jogger, but at the same time follows the company's philosophy: everything essential, no tricks. But the highlight is that the new one builds on the coolness brought to the Dacia range by the first Duster. At the front, there are the striking headlights integrated into the radiator grille along with the Y-shaped LED DRLs. The main headlight unit is LED, but the high beam is halogen. The design signature continues at the rear with the LED tail lamps. All-round paneling gives many SUVs a robust appearance, and this is no different with the new Duster. However, there is something special about it because the new so-called Starkle material from which its paneling is made contains up to 20% recycled material. If you look closely at the parts, you can see small speckles in the plastic, which quite aggressively indicate that recycled material is used here. The plastic cladding at the front and rear of the new Duster are significantly larger than its predecessor and also contributes to that rugged appearance. Both parts are not painted, instead the plastic is colored through, which takes the fear out of scratches and blemishes. They are not immediately visible because the scratched material has the same color as the entire component. Quite a clever feature, especially if you want to take your Duster for some off-roading. And by the way, the exterior paint you see here is called sandstone, and it's a completely new color. Fun fact, the new Dacia logo that you see on the Duster has already done wonders for the car maker. Dacia says that when they changed the logo earlier on the existing models, they saw an increase in sales just because of the logo change. Overall, the design appears fresh and harmonious. It is more angular than its predecessor and makes the Duster stand out from the crowd of compact SUVs. A good design doesn't always have to be expensive. Tell us what you think about the new Duster's design. Let's look at the specs and facts of the new Duster. The length is 4.34 meters, which is almost the same as the old model. The new Duster has grown exactly 10 millimeters in width, but it now sits 37 millimeters lower than the outgoing model, measured with the roof rails. And speaking of roof rails, they can also be placed transversely, and for example, a roof box of up to 80 kilograms load can be installed. The wheelbase is 16 mm shorter in the new Duster, and if you choose the all-wheel drive version, the ground clearance is 217 mm, which is 7 mm more than the front-wheel drive version. The approach angles in the off-road version are 31 degrees at the front and 36 degrees at the rear. In the side profile, a notable change is that the rear door handles are now integrated in the upper part of the C-pillar. The alloy wheels can either be 17 or 18 inches. And if you get the Journey trim, then they are always 18-inch wheels, but with the Extreme trim, you can choose between the two sizes. You can see the budget-oriented approach in some places as well, like the classic antenna on top. Even though the new Duster hardly increased in dimensions, you would be happy to know that the boot capacity is actually more. It's 472 liters now, and that's 27 liters more than the old Duster. The rear seats have the common 60-40 split configuration, and one important difference in the Journey trim is the flat loading floor. You can either fold it or take it out. But what goes beyond that is the sleep pack, which is already known from Jogger. It is a box that fits in the trunk and can be unfolded in just a few steps. When fully unfolded, there is a lying area of 1.9 by 1.3 meters, which makes the Duster 3 a kind of compact motorhome. The rugged design language continues into the Duster's interior, and there are significant changes. Here the Duster has taken a big step towards modernity. The steering wheel is no longer circular but flat at the top and bottom. and it has the new Dacia logo at the center. Good thing is that there are still physical buttons on the steering wheel like the one on the left side for cruise control. Though mainly comprised of hard plastics due to the budget-oriented approach, the cockpit still has a more upmarket feel than the current Duster. Another new interior approach is the cool white-themed design elements on the AC vents. Dacia relies on animal-friendly and more sustainable materials. There is a total of 20% recycled content for all parts combined as well. A difference between the Extreme and Journey trim levels is that everything in the Journey version is designed in a blue look. The seats and armrest in the Extreme trim come with a material called microcloud, which is the same as what Mercedes uses. The higher trims also offer heated steering wheel and heated seats. However, in order to cut costs, the seats have only manual adjustment. A very practical thing is that Dacia offers the U-clip system for attaching handy items safely to various spots in the vehicle, including the cell phone holder. So what about the tech? Well, the basis is not an infotainment system at all. Instead, you place your smartphone in a holder. The driver display will be a 3.5 inches screen with analog dials. In the new Duster, digital instruments are optionally available in combination with a larger 10-inch infotainment touchscreen. The touchscreen is quite responsive and the system supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Another advantage of the new generation is that the 10-inch screen has been moved upwards, so it's now located above the AC vents and is slightly turned towards the driver. That's definitely an improvement over the previous generation towards distraction-free operation. What's also new is that part of the climate control, like the seat and steering wheel heating, must be operated via the touchscreen, but there are actual physical buttons to control the rest of the heating and ventilation functions. So that's great. By the way, the shorter wheelbase hasn't affected the legroom in the rear seats. It's decent even for tall people. In the cockpit, there are 2 USB-C ports and a storage area for a mobile phone. Unfortunately, the practical storage compartment on the passenger side, which the second generation still had, is no longer available with the model change. The new Duster will disappoint economical diesel drivers because there won't be a diesel engine in the future. 2 new hybrid drives are intended to replace the diesel. One is a 130 horsepower mild hybrid called TCE 130 with a 1.2-liter 3-cylinder engine and 48-volt electrical system. This mild hybrid is only available with a 6-speed manual gearbox and gets either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system works with a central clutch, so the car is normally front-wheel drive, and then in off-road situations, you can switch it to 50-50 for front and rear. Then there is the full hybrid, the Duster Hybrid 140. Its powertrain combines a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine with a 49 horsepower electric motor and a starter generator. The system output of the hybrid is 140 horsepower and it comes with automatic transmission. And according to Dacia, the highlight of the system is the ability to make up to 80% of all journeys electrically, but only if they take place in the city. The battery sizes don't differ too much though. It's 0.8 kWh for the mild hybrid and 1.2 kWh for the integrated hybrid. The cheapest engine in the lineup, called EcoG100, is a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine which can run on petrol or LPG. This model has 2 50-liter tanks on board, one for each fuel. The Dacia developers cleverly placed the additional LPG tank in the car so that no trunk space was lost. The 4x4 versions will get a terrain mode selector, including an auto mode that will read surface conditions and automatically distribute torque between the front and rear axles. 4x4 versions will also get hill descent control as well as off-road screens showing tilt angle, pitch and torque distribution. So what do you think of the all-new Dacia Duster? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and until we meet again, drive safe, adios.